Namaste, Dinesh sir, and namaste to all who are present from different parts of the world now. First of all, I am very happy to be a part of the Celebrating the Mountains International Symposium on the occasion of this International Mountain Day, today 11th December 2020. And my sincere thanks goes to all organizers of this symposium. No need to say about the importance of mountains to our life, which provide us good air, good water, and good food, and in totals a good environment or ecosystems, which is more evident now in the context of COVID-19 pandemic situations. I would like to highlight the opportunities and challenges in the Nepal Himalayas. I'm a glaciologist, so I'm going to put my reflections related with glaciology, which you have already seen some of it in the slides of Alton Byers, because he has shown how the glacier receded and formed big glacier lakes, which are a big threat to the mountain people and the downstreams. I want to share in this symposium that many hydropower producers are going up. Up means in the higher altitudes near to the Himalayas, and to generate electricity, and they want reliable flow data of rivers or the small rivulets. They are coming to us to generate flow data of a river so that they can evaluate a cost benefit analysis, and based on the results they will decide whether to proceed or not the power projects. We are providing this service now in Nepal, and we have already provided flow data to two power producers using our glacial-hydrological degree model, what we call in short GTM, developed at the Himalayan Crash Wave Climate and Disaster Research Center, High CCTRC, KU. And Kathmandu University have already produced 35 young glaciologists from South Asia, in which some of are from Afghanistan, India, Pakistan, and Nepal, through the support from USAID, USA project, and Norwegian project. Some of them are from the mountain communities, including Sherpas from Nepal, which helped a lot to create and widen knowledge in the local levels. They are engaging in cryospheric studies in the mountains in their respective countries and beyond. And we are happy to provide our technical support to the recent measurement of the height of the Sagarmatha, Everest, through our software of ground penetrating radar, GPR, what we call in short. We have never thought of it that our knowledge of snow and ice thickness measurement will also be useful in the task of height measurement of the world's highest mountains, Sagarmatha or the Everest, because we have that equipment and we are using this equipment in order to measure the thickness of ice of some glaciers. And cryospheric studies are taking a good step now in Nepal compared to a decade before. Soon, we are trying to become a center of excellence of glaciology in Nepal. Major challenges are its harsh topographic climatic conditions, which I think our today's keynote speakers, Christian, also mentioned, and high cost of research in the Himalayas. These challenges are also becoming less challenges now, mainly due to revolutions in the information technology and physical infrastructure development in the mountain areas. If you go now in the Namche, you can find the very similar facilities as we are having now in Kathmandu. So the mountain communities are also very up to date now and very good facilities they are having. And with that physical facilities plus communication facilities, the challenges are now less. Beside the glaciological issues, I also want to express my view on the positive impact on the health of Yarchagumba, which we also known as cordyceps in English, and other high-value Himalayan herbals in the mountains of Nepal due to COVID-19 pandemic. Due to the lockdown and restrictions, people didn't have much, didn't harvested much, which will definitely a good impact on its good productions and its sustainability in the future. Also, it is a time to think produced high value foods in the high mountains in a large and sustainable way and supply to downstream peoples and even to the astronauts because they need very high value foods. Therefore, need to explore such indigenous high altitude, high value foods to produce even in space because now the space agencies are also thinking to produce such foods themselves by day. So we can have a new research in these directions uh, as an opportunity to mountain peoples because we have a very high mountains. So around 5,000, 6,000, if we can grow such high value indigenous foods, not in the open space, maybe we need to use a greenhouse, some sort of enclosure, and that will be very beneficial so that we can produce this, do the same practice in the space also. So with this, I would like to thank all distinguished guests and participants for your valuable times. Happy International Mountain Day. Thank you.